Hi, my name is Cloud, and I'm glad you're here. A short while ago, my life changed in a way I never saw coming. I was diagnosed with lung cancer. It still feels surreal to say that out loud. Not long ago, I was incredibly active, an avid runner, always moving, always planning the next goal. And then suddenly everything slowed down, and the future feels uncertain. This channel is my way of making sense of that shift. A place to chronicle the ups and downs and challenges of lung cancer. The fear, the hope, the setbacks, the small wins. If you or a loved one is going through a similar challenge, my hope is that something here resonates with you. Hey, you don't have to be alone. Finally, I truly pray that someday soon I can run again. Hi, another day, another grind. Let's do this. Rehab and recovery. Let's get after this. What if the very thing you thought cancer took from you, your strength, your endurance, your identity, became the doorway to discovering a stronger, wiser version of yourself? Intriguing, isn't it? For the longest time, I thought recovery meant choosing one path, either cardio, exercise, like I was doing initially, walking when the weather was fair anyways, doing the cardio machines, or strength training, purely strength training, lifting weights, as I've also done in the past in the gym. Either rest or push, either survive or thrive, I suppose. What I did not realize was the real breakthrough came when I stopped choosing and started combining. I think that's where hybrid workout came into my life. Not just as a training strategy, but as a recovery philosophy. And I think I've sort of started on this path, probably in honest earnest, the last 3 weeks or so, when I've started to combine lifting and the cardio machines. I think it helps a lot too that essentially, my physician, my doctor has removed my lifting precautions to begin with. I'm still not lifting a lot. Perhaps I'm not still, perhaps you can say I'm not even lifting enough. And yet, I find myself realizing that over the last 3 weeks, I've been doing more hybrid as opposed to just a focused strengthening exercise or just aerobic exercise. A little bit of both. Before my cancer, it was so much easier. It was either I logged the miles, training for my half marathon, doing 13 miles every weekend, or some months I would essentially not run. I would just hit the gym and just do more lifting. So it was kind of either or. This is, before I had the cancer. But after the cancer and after the surgeries, it's taken a different turn. And it really, in a way, cancer, you can say, shattered that level of simplicity in my program. I know for a fact that my old playbook is not gonna work. With the changes my body has undergone, with the surgery, with the removal of the lung, the side effects, the targeted therapies. I know my body's different, and it's not necessarily going to respond in exactly the same way as when it did before I had the cancer and how I've done my training before. So I do think this hybrid training program might be more beneficial to me. Essentially, the kind of hybrid training I'm doing is basically combining aerobic workout and aerobic base building, as I've shown in my previous videos, like the ellipticals, the row machine, the spin cycle, with the lifting, the resistance training, with the dumbbells that I've been using that you see me work on, which I'm doing about 35 pounds now. Much better and a lot more resistive than the ones I could do 4 weeks ago, as early as, or as recent as 4 weeks ago. I feel that there's some benefits to this hybrid training regimen, and the first thing that I can think of is that hybrid training respects the reality of recovery. After my lung surgery and everything else that's happened in between, my cardiovascular system and muscular systems, they don't rebound at the same pace. Walking was the best I could do, 2 to 4 miles. That left me depleted. Lifting, really can't. Only been cleared to lift, about 3-4 weeks ago. And yet the little things and the little trials that I did left me gassed and winded. But I noticed with my current hybrid program, the one I'm essentially showing you here right now, with the modest resistance and aerobic drills, plus the modest weights that I'm lifting, I feel that my muscles are restored, and I think they support each other, both achieving different goals for me to rebuild my endurance and my strength. The other day I was telling my wife over the last week or so how I felt. A little more energetic, a little less exhausted at the end of my days, even pulling in extra work. And despite doing that I haven't surrendered to full exhaustion. So I think it's slowly working. And I want to highlight that word so much more. The whole thought of it being a slow progress, a slow burn. I think the second benefit that I'm starting to see is energy management and not energy destruction. Cancer recovery for me isn't about crushing workouts. Definitely not. A far cry from that, really. I can only do 3 pull-ups for now. It's about stacking sustainable wins. I really believe that. Hybrid training allows me to alternate stress on days when my legs feel heavy, and tired. I can focus on my upper body strength, and vice versa. On days where I have the chemo brain or the brain fog and my focus is wavering, I can do the ellipticals, and letting the rhythm of the ellipticals and the spin cycle do most of the thinking for me. I think this variety has reduced my burnout, and it has shortened recovery time, both physically and mentally. So much so that I feel rejuvenated to do the exercise again the following day. And finally, for me, this hybrid training that I'm doing right now for myself, no matter how conservative my performance has been, rebuilds confidence faster. Cancer has reduced me to a patient, and yet this hybrid training I'm on right now has given me back some of my identity as, somebody who's able to handle himself physically and not be a victim of disease. So ultimately, if you're in recovery like me, whether from cancer, surgery, burnout, or life itself, or whatever, here's the lesson I've learned. You don't have to choose between strength training or endurance. You don't have to choose between caution and courage. You can train your body the same way you rebuild your life. layer by layer, system by system, with patience and purpose. One day, you will realize the question that once haunted you has changed. It's not what did cancer take from me? Rather, what did this journey teach me about what I'm capable of becoming? I think the power of hybrid training, it doesn't just helps you recover. It helps you rediscover who you are, stronger, wiser, most importantly, still moving forward. Got this.